Hello, everybody. I am doing a Gemini full moon reading for the upcoming November 19th, 2021. This is going to be a full moon in Taurus. That is sort of going to be a grounding moment after the somewhat darker Scorpio moon that we had, new moon, Scorpio moon, new moon, sort of was pulling up those ideas from things that you had buried, things that you thought were settled that might not necessarily be settled, ideas, sort of the devil on your shoulder type of situation to make you question things that maybe you hadn't questioned for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, so to start off, I pulled a card as a signifier for the reading. Okay. And I came up with the the dust devil, moving out of stagnation. It's an interesting one, really, if you think about it. And isn't that sort of what that Scorpio moon was about? Was sort of pulling you out of what you think. All right. So we're going to pull 3 cards to check on the past influences going forward. What do you need to know for the full moon? What are those influences leading up to the full moon? Where your current status, situation, where does the Gemini stand? Gemini. I would say that you've been indulging in a little bit of worry and concern. There have been some things that maybe perhaps you were worried about. Keep in mind, these are past influences. Here's the situation where you are basically, you've been in a battle, you're weary, you're just going to take your stuff and go. It can mean a couple of different things. It can mean pulling resources from one place. It can also mean someone took some of your resources. There is also this card, which people get really scared when they see the devil, but devil is sort of meant to represent that darker side of yourself. It is the part that perhaps it's a temper, or perhaps it's a something that you struggle with. That's the piece right there. So it feels like there's definitely a struggle because there's been worry. Those same swords that you took here, even though you have them, if you look at this, there's still this sort of moment of needing to reflect on it. Maybe you've gotten all of these things. You've been driven hard by what you were trying to accomplish. Maybe it wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be. So now you're sort of reflecting in it, and you're kind of in a period of, I don't want to put this, well, that wasn't what I expected. Or, gee, that didn't go as I'd hoped it would. And maybe this is a cycle. This is something that continually, that's the thing that I keep feeling lately, is a cycle. That these are things that are coming back around. These cycles that I think that I fought really hard to get rid of are circling back around again, and they're coming back up, and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't want to go back there. And I sort of feel like that's the same thing here. Maybe there's a little bit of you that causes those cycles to come back around, and because of that, you're doing a lot of introspection to figure out whether this is here to stay or if it's going to move on. All right, current influences of the new moon. Now keep in mind, Taurus is, as I said, very grounded, very determined, tends to run in straightforward, can be a little pig-headedness at times. My mother, who has passed away, I'm sorry, was Taurus, and she was completely a Taurus. When she got focused on something, nothing was changing her mind. So yeah, and that's not to be mean. That was just her nature. A lot of, I think, a lot of that energy tends to mask things. You know, that straightforward determination. When you see people who are very obsessed by goals, it's usually because it's covering up something else. It's so that they don't have to think about something else. It's, yeah. So, okay. All right. So we are looking for the current energy on Gemini, and I got a little off there. So, current energy on Gemini. Moving forward. Gemini. Full moon. I kept saying new moon in the last video. Full moon. November 19th. What do we need to know about the current energies for that moon? You have strength. I could have told you that. So the other part about this card is there's the infinity symbol on it, which can mean it can mean an endless infinity or a loop. I tend to think of it as balanced also. And I think there's a lot of talk about Geminis having sort of the duality of it. And if you look at this symbol, the way it is balanced over her head is very even. And I know that people are going to say I'm stretching on this one, but to me that means balance. And so this new moon is going to bring you that balance. So maybe you have been struggling, but this new moon is going to bring you in some balance. It's going to prove to you that you have the ability to move beyond the stagnating cycle that you had and to move forward with it. Sorry, there's a car going by. A loud car. All right, so what do we need to know moving forward with the full moon energy? What is our focus moving past this full moon energy for Gemini? Focus to move past the full moon energy from Gemini. For Gemini. Whoa. Queen of Wands. Be steady in your emotions. Take note of them, but also don't let them rule you. Thoughts, ideas, emotions. There's also that balance, I think, with that. I tend to see the Queen of Wands as more of a... She's learned. She's not that impotent. Wow, that is not the word I was looking for. She's impetuous. She's not impetuous. That was the word I was looking for. Like a page would be. And she's perhaps not as strict or unmoving as her husband would be. She has this sort of wisdom that comes with looking at the situation. So we have the Queen of Wands. We have really, this is a good intro. Okay, so let's go back to this. So we've been having this time of, I think this is really very internal. It feels to me like it's a very internal questioning of the cycles that you've had in your life. You're not happy with the way things have been. You're looking for a new way to move forward, to sort of feel your way through the situation. And you do have that. You have that strength. And the strength is you. That's, I mean, it's a Leo card, but the strength also does mean that you have this real, very balanced, it's attainable. It's there. So as I said, we have the Queen of Wands and we have the World. And then we have a warning. So this is attainable. You have this. Keep in mind that is your energy right here that is going to hold you through. This sort of understanding of where you've been, where you could go with it. Not to be so hard-edged. And then there's this card here, which is the Four of Cups. Who has 4? Yes, 4. No glasses on. Meaning to, you know, he's focused down here on the cards that are lost. You've heard this before. He's focused on the cards are lost, and there's an offering right here. And this is the same offering that is on the Ace of Cups. So there is a fantastic offering coming to him, but you need to focus on the positive and not the negative. So even though, and I think this happens a lot with Gemini, is they tend to get very focused on sort of the multitude of things that are going on with the situation. And in this case, this feels very inner to me. But you also have this incredible strength. All you need to do is to not focus on what you've lost. Focus on what you can gain. Look for those new opportunities that are coming forward. Use that divine strength that's within you that will help to look at that situation correctly. And know that you've got the World. I mean, this is a completion card. This is moving beyond the rest of this stuff. So there is that. All right, and I'm gonna pull a new moon. Not new moon. I keep saying new moon. Moon Oracle card for Gemini. Moon Oracle card, Gemini, for the full moon. What would you like Gemini to know for the full moon? Full moon, November 2021. What would you like Gemini to know? How to handle this full moon. Whoa. It's a time for healing. And that healing really needs to come from within yourself. This healing means that it's time to sort of forgive those things that you've had that have been cycles in the past and move forward. You've got it right there. The more you focus on balancing yourself out, the more that those old cycles are going to go away. So I hope this helps. I mean, this feels like a really good reading to me. I know that it can be, you know, dealing with old emotions is something we all have to do. But you're not who you all are in the past. You're that person who you are in the present and moving forward. It's called the past for a reason. So, all right. I hope this helps. I hope that you found a little bit of wisdom in that today. And for the new moon, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'm sending blessings from Maine. Bye-bye.